think it might have been you who said if a woman sells her body for money, she'll sell you out. Yeah. She'll sell you for money.
It was actually Tommy Robinson. I saw him say that, and I have to agree. He got it right. He goes, "What do you expect? You pay them to take the clothes off. What do you think they're not going to sell you for that?" And that's the case you have. But I think also him reverting. Look, this has been since last April. No evidence. All of a sudden, he comes back as a Muslim, holding the Quran to court in an Orthodox Christian country. That's going to piss people off, bro. You know, in their face. People say he's a fake Muslim. If he's fake, why would he do that? That's going to ruin him more. He's, you don't do that.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
like going to a pit bull, come here to the pit bull, and you get bitten. Like, what? Do you know what I mean? So people and they just judge. So I can understand, I can understand why there's hatred for him. I understand as well. Definitely, they've took it wrong in the edits. I can understand, but there's one thing hating a guy and one thing letting a guy suffer for something he's not done. And anyone with logic will see this is fake, this bullshit case is bullshit.
Tommy Robinson, considered by many to be a preacher of religious hatred and an apostle of violence, has once again found himself at the center of heated discussions with shocking accusations against key politicians and police officers. He made serious accusations of complicity in the creation of criminal gangs and massive corruption. This is not just another sensational scandal like the ones we often hear about in the news around the world. It is a cry for help that cannot be ignored. Robinson raised crucial questions about the UK's judicial system, its fairness, and how those who dare to expose corruption in the country are insufficiently protected.
I don't think that Tommy Robinson is frothing anything either.
I didn't say he was either. I said he was an extremist, but I didn't say he was frothing.
Well, I disagree with you on that. And the man that I was there with, in fact, just not one man, but the person I was there with, I was referring to a moment ago, who is Muslim, I'm sure if he was on the line with me right now, he would be putting you straight, that you're giving out the wrong message, that Tommy Robinson is not an extremist. He says certain things that are truths. The reason why he's been convicted to prison for 18 months today, your news bulletin is saying that he put out repeated falsehoods or something like that. Actually, it's the opposite. He's been put in prison for telling the truth.
This puts the country in front of terrible problems that it probably would not want to face, while trying to uncover the true state of affairs within its national institutions. One of the worst problems in the United Kingdom is child exploitation gangs. Cities such as Rotherham, Rochdale and Telford have become symbols of these horrific crimes, which left innocent children victims of slavery, violence, torture and beatings at the hands of powerful groups, while local authorities turned a blind eye to it. The investigations conducted by non-governmental organizations are shocking. Thousands of children were abused, and many of them were not taken seriously by the police and social services. These are not just statistics. These are the fates of children who deserve protection and justice.
If you become Prime Minister and you could change 3 things that could make the UK great again, what would you change?
If I could change 3 things, this will upset a few. Well, I'd totally stop their climate change agenda. I'd totally stop. Again, I'd stop open border immigration, and I'd send every one of these men in these hotels out of our country. I'd concentrate on the British people, the people that have given and sacrificed and families have in this country, and concentrate on Britain rather than the globe, which was what globalism wants.
In his latest work, Robinson tries to shock the public by demonstrating how some of these cases could have been deliberately closed. According to him, the police officers who were supposed to protect us actually cooperated with the criminals, allowing them to avoid arrest and go to court, while the real victims suffered from their inaction. This only exacerbates an already difficult situation, exposing negligence that goes beyond simple inaction and leads to a complete lack of necessary goals and objectives. The question of the role of the police has been causing concern for several years, but after Robinson's statements, we are faced with a shocking new reality. If his accusations are confirmed, it would mean that corrupt police officers actively contributed to the ongoing abuse of children. The idea that the same officials who are supposed to protect citizens may be helping criminals causes horror and anger in society. This caused a storm of indignation among people, and the former officers mentioned by Robinson refused to comment on the situation.
A High Court judge has issued a warrant for the arrest of Tommy Robinson after he fled the UK. It's after he breached a court order by showing a film at a protest in central London. He was arrested but released on bail Sunday night before allegedly leaving the country. He was due to attend a hearing today for contempt of court, but his absence led to the judge to continue without him.
For many, their silence suggests that they are guilty of something, although none of them has been formally charged. This shocking lack of accountability undermines citizens' trust in the police and requires immediate reform of the entire system. The public reaction to Robinson's accusations was massive and contradictory. On the one hand, many people support him because, in their opinion, he has opened their eyes to a corrupt system, forcing people to think about what is happening behind closed doors. On the other hand, critics claim that his methods are too aggressive and could harm a proper investigation. These passionate debates are actively developing on social media platforms. Robinson's supporters claim that his actions indicate the collapse of the mainstream, the media, and government institutions that are supposed to protect us. At the same time, his opponents accuse him of sensationalism, arguing that his approach could become a serious obstacle to justice.
What is Tommy Robinson's appeal, and why does he have such a big following?
I think it's because he speaks about things that affect the ordinary people, that the MPs don't really affect them because they're not living where we're living. I'm not saying Tommy's right on everything he says, but you have to look through the narrative at some of the finer genuine concern. We can't just keep denying there's problems or there's no problems with immigration when there are problems where local people are seeing the difference. We need to start having open, honest conversations about various issues. We need to reclaim the conversations back.
This issue has enormous political implications that cannot be ignored. Brexit leaders such as Nigel Farage and Elon Musk have actively engaged in this discussion, highlighting the sharp differences between the UK and the rest of the world. Despite Robinson's refusal, Farage boldly supported the opinion of the Council on combating banditry. George Musk defended the freedom of speech expressed by Robinson, pointing out the sharp differences in approaches between the west and east coasts of America. These conflicting views highlight a broader and intense struggle over how we should treat critically important issues like gang formation. As the scandal heats up, demands for a large-scale national investigation into groomer gangs are becoming more insistent and loud. Supporters of this investigation are confident that only a thorough study of the facts can restore public confidence. However, some critics warn that another investigation could distract attention from the urgent need to help victims and bring perpetrators to justice. The government's inaction only reinforces suspicions of a cover-up.
Tommy Robinson, real name Stephen Yaxley Lennon, has been charged under the Terrorism Act.
He hugged supporters waiting outside for him, telling them he was there for telling the truth. Now, one of them asked what'll happen next, and he said, "I'll see what happens, mate. I don't expect to come back out here."
For most people, this problem has become a real indicator of the state's willingness to fight for justice. The responsibility assigned to these institutions in connection with the activities of criminal gangs has been actively discussed and has caused heated debate in recent years. The offences related to these cases point to deep social problems within the police, local councils, and community organisations. It is alleged that these institutions, which are supposed to protect vulnerable groups, ignore warning signs, turn a blind eye to complaints, and obstruct justice. These failures are rooted in shortcomings related to training, political influence, and potential accusations of discrimination, leading to gross negligence in the treatment of victims. What do you think about this video? Share your thoughts in the comments. See you later.